Hi, Mystery Writers. I'm Zara Altair. Welcome to the Mystery Writer Studio. And today, I don't know, sorry, I had a technical glitch. All right, so today I want to talk about your author voice. It's just so important. And it's something you develop over time, but you can certainly work on it right from the very beginning. Um, And your author voice is the words that make your reader feel. It connects your reader. It connects your reader to the story through just about everything. It's like the vocabulary you use, the syntax of how you phrase things, the tone, the point of view, um, and that makes your phrases and sentences and paragraphs flow, right? And your author voice comes through to the reader whether you are writing in the third person or as a character point of view in the first person. And when you put all that together, your author point of view, your voice is instrumental in how your reader feels as they experience your novel. It's all about feeling, and voice is the icing on the cake of your character and plot. And if you've ever experienced a child or a spouse wait eagerly to lick the beaters after you've mixed icing, you know how exciting and great icing can be. And that's what you want with your author voice. You want it to be exciting and intriguing and have your readers ready to have more. All right. So the voice is how you tell the story. And Raymond Chandler said, the most durable thing in writing is style. And style is the most valuable investment a writer can make with his time. So that's why, yes, it's really hard when you're starting out and it's like, what is my author voice? But as you continue writing your story, it's going to come out to you and you're going to realize that you write in a certain way, and that is your author voice. So it can be hard, it can be soft, it can be smooth, it can be edgy. It's your voice, all right? And voice comes through the syntax and tone and vocabulary, and also with the recurrent themes and the mood and the worldview. So it's pretty much all encompassing of how it impacts your story and how it involves your reader in the story. Um, and So I just wanted to give some examples here. Raymond Chandler, who talks about author voice and style, uh, I really embody hard-boiled view of the world and people, and the syntax is brisk and crisp. So let's look at the opening of The Big Sleep. It was about 11 o'clock in the morning, mid-October, with the sun not shining and a look of hard, wet rain in the cleanness of the foothills. I was wearing my powder blue suit with dark blue shirt, tie, and display handkerchief, black brogues, black wool socks with dark blue clocks on them. I was neat, clean, shaved, and sober, and I didn't care who knew it. I was everything the well-dressed private detective ought to be. I was calling on $4 million. So it's a great introduction. And then let's look at another writer, Anne Cleves. And she goes into the hearts and minds of her characters very deeply, a very different approach. And let's read the beginning of From Wildfire. Emma sat on the shingle bank and watched the kids on the beach below build a bonfire. They dragged pieces of driftwood into a pile. It was something to do to relieve their boredom. Nothing much happened in Deltanus. It was too far from Limerick for an easy night out, and the buses stopped long before the bars closed. The night was clear and still, and the light drained slowly away. In another month, it would be midsummer. Emma was there because she was bored too. When she was a child, she'd longed for boredom, for quiet, normal days, free from tension. School and homework and wait, I'm having trouble reading this. School and homework and meals and the family didn't end in anger, shouting, or worse. Now she thought she'd inherited a need for excitement, a longing to fill her days with action and challenge, to provoke a response from the people in her life, a need to make things happen. So, if you notice with those two things, we get an introduction to the character, and we also, right at the end of that, of each passage, something is going to happen. All right, but they have completely different author voice. But if you read in the mystery genre, you know the author voice comes in a wide variety of styles. It's just like everything you can possibly imagine, from witty and funny to sober and everything in between. But what's important for you as a writer is developing your author voice. So once a reader experiences your author voice and likes it, they are predisposed to like your next book and the next one and the one after that, because they like your author voice and it feels good to them to read your story. They may not know about author voice, but they may say something like, I like the way she tells the story, or I enjoy reading his books, without being able to say why. And that's your author voice working for you. When you're just starting out as a writer, it's hard to know what your voice is or how to improve your author voice. And improve means making it more connecting for your readers. So there are several ways to get to know your author's voice and how to make it stronger. So number one is you want a consistent narrative voice. So if you're going to choose your narrative point of view, is it third person, is it first person, and you want to stick with it till the end of your story. You're going to master how to supply details and share what's in a character's head. Experienced authors switch between points of view, but as a beginner, learn to master one. So you just want to get really comfortable with developing your style, as it were. And you also want to choose your language form. Decide whether you want to use formal language or more colloquial patterns, and will you always be grammatically correct? And will you use local or regional expressions? And will you go in and out of your character's head? You want to adopt a policy about your word choice so your language is consistent. And this doesn't include character dialogue, of course, because they're going to speak in their own voice. But as you're telling the story, that is your author voice. And so you want to emphasize description or dialogue. Do you balance between the two or trend toward one or the other? You notice some authors have lots of dialogue and the story moves along really quickly, and others add a lot of description to create a setting and a mood and get the reader feeling like they're there. There's no rule. It's your preference. Just know how you write and keep it consistent. And so I think the first priority for you as a beginning writer is just to keep your writing voice consistent. Uh, so the other thing is to learn how your voice feels. Uh, and I think the best way is to read your story out loud. Does it flow? Is it staccato? Are your sentences long or short? Are your verbs active? Hearing your story, your voice, tells you how readers experience your writing. Um, so it's really important. I had a kitty who's no longer with us right now, but he used to love it when I would read my stories out loud because I wanted to hear how they sounded. And he thought I was talking to him. But he would just kind of settle in and go, oh boy, she's reading a story. But it's really going to help you uh, hear what your voice is, what your author voice is, and how readers experience your author voice. It's really hard just looking at the words on the page, but if you read it out loud, you're going to get a sense of your rhythm. Are your rhythm? Are your sentences short? Are they long? Um, all of those things. And once again, I think the most important thing for you as you're going as a beginner is to aim for consistency. Your voice is your voice, and you want to make it clear that it is your voice, right? Uh, once again, there are no rules. It's how you tell your story. And the more consistent you are with how you tell your story, the more comfortable your readers, your fans are with your author voice because they know, oh boy, Big Four, they know they're going to have this feeling because they've experienced your author voice, and they're going to feel that satisfaction reading your story. And um, I don't know, I just feel like I'm going to repeat myself. Is it formal or colloquial? But it's what resonates with your readers. And that's all you care about. You don't forget, we're not writing for everybody. We're writing for people who really love your stories. And we are writing for mystery readers. And and if you've done any reading in the mystery genre, you know that there's every kind of author voice in mysteries. All right, I hope that helps. As always, please leave comments, please questions in the comments. And also, I want to thank people who have been with me for the 6 years I've been producing these videos. This is the last one. So I want to wish you happy holidays, and also that these videos are going to be on YouTube forever. So you can always come back and look at one and listen if you want to go over something. So once again, thank you so much for being with me, and I hope you experience lots of joy in your writing career. Thank you.